What's the moment with your family that completely broke you, but also showed you how much love was really there? When I was 16, I got into my first serious accident. It wasn't life-threatening, but it was scary. I'd been biking home from school when a car clipped me at an intersection. I flew off the handlebars, scraped up half my body, and bent my bike into a twisted mess. The driver barely slowed down before speeding off. I remember sitting on the curb, bleeding, embarrassed, trying not to cry in front of strangers who had gathered. Someone called an ambulance, but all I could think about was how furious my dad would be. He had warned me countless times about riding too close to traffic. At the hospital, they patched me up with stitches and bandages. Nothing broken, just bruises and road rash. Still, I dreaded the moment my parents walked in. When my mom arrived first, she was frantic, tears in her eyes. She hugged me so tightly it hurt, but I could tell she was trying to keep herself together. My dad walked in a few minutes later, quiet, serious. He didn't say much at first, just stared at me, taking it all in. I braced myself for the lecture, for the anger, for the disappointment. Instead, he sat down beside me, leaned forward, and put his head in his hands. When he finally spoke, his voice cracked. "I could have lost you." That's all he said. 4 words. But I had never heard my dad's voice break like that before. This was the man who fixed everything, who never flinched, who worked double shifts without complaining. The man who taught me to ride that very bike and always told me to shake it off whenever I got hurt. Seeing him like that, shaken, vulnerable, was more painful than the accident itself. He reached over and held my hand, something he hadn't done since I was little. And for the first time, I realized his constant warnings weren't nagging. They were fear of losing me. For weeks after, he hovered more than usual, checked my helmet before every ride, drove me places he normally would have told me to bike. My mom teased him about being overprotective, but I could see it wasn't about control. It was about love. The accident scarred me in more ways than one. I still have faint marks on my knee and shoulder, but what stuck most was that moment in the hospital. The moment my dad's armor cracked and I saw just how much he carried inside. Years later, when I finally told him how much that day meant to me, he just smiled softly and said, "You'll understand if you ever have kids. Loving someone that much is the scariest thing in the world," and he was right.